It starts with a contradiction no one understands. You have dreams that terrify you with their size. Visions of what you could become. Ideas that keep you awake at 3 a.m., heart racing with possibility. You can see the life you want with cinematic clarity, the success, the freedom, the version of yourself that finally matches what's inside your head. But then morning comes, and you don't move. You lie there, scrolling, thinking, planning endlessly, but executing almost nothing. The gap between your ambition and your action feels like a canyon. And everyone around you sees only one side of it. You have so much potential. If only you applied yourself. You're wasting your talent. You're so lazy. Lazy. The word that's followed you since childhood. The label that's been stamped on your forehead by teachers, parents, bosses, and eventually yourself. But here's what haunts you. You don't feel lazy. Inside, your mind is constantly working, analyzing, strategizing, solving problems that haven't even happened yet. You're not doing nothing. You're doing everything internally, invisibly, in ways no one can measure or see. So what are you? Lazy or brilliant? Broken or efficient? Wasting potential or waiting for the right moment to deploy it? This is the psychology of lazy, ambitious people. And today, we dismantling the myth because science has something surprising to say. What the world calls laziness might actually be a sign of rare intelligence. Let's start with what's really happening in your brain. Researchers at Florida Gulf Coast University conducted a study that sent shockwaves through the productivity-obsessed world. They found that people with higher IQs spend significantly more time in sedentary, low-activity states than those with lower cognitive abilities. The reason? High-intelligence individuals are more comfortable inside their own heads. They require less external stimulation because their internal world is rich enough. They think more, move less. Not because they're incapable of action, but because their minds are already fully engaged. This is called the need for cognition. It's a psychological trait describing how much someone enjoys complex thinking. People high in this trait don't need to stay busy to feel productive. Their productivity is cognitive, invisible, and profoundly misunderstood by a culture that equates movement with meaning. You're not lazy, you're cognitively self-sustaining. Your brain doesn't need constant external input because it generates its own. But there's more. Psychologists have identified a phenomenon called strategic laziness, the instinct to find the most efficient path to a goal rather than the most effortful one. And this tendency correlates strongly with problem-solving intelligence. Think about it. When faced with a task most people start doing, they follow the obvious path. They work hard because hard work is what they were taught to worship. But you pause. You resist the immediate action. Something in you refuses to move until you found the optimal approach. You're not avoiding work, you're avoiding unnecessary work. You're waiting until your brain has computed the shortcut that others will never see. This isn't laziness. This is cognitive efficiency operating at a level that looks like inaction to the untrained eye. Bill Gates famously said, "I choose a lazy person to do a hard job because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it." He wasn't joking. He was describing a neurological reality. But let's be honest, this isn't the whole story. Because if you're a lazy, ambitious person, you know the darkness that lives alongside the brilliance. The shame. The paralysis. The way your own potential feels like a weight crushing you rather than a wing lifting you. Let's go there. You procrastinate not because you don't care, but because you care too much. The vision in your head is so perfect, so precise that starting feels like a guaranteed disappointment. How could the first draft ever match the masterpiece you've already imagined? This is called perfectionist paralysis. And it's rampant among intelligent people. Your standards are so high that action feels like failure before it even begins. So you wait. You refine the idea. You plan another revision. And the world sees laziness while you're drowning in impossible standards. You might also experience what psychologists call action paralysis from option overload. Your brain sees too many paths, too many variables, too many ways things could unfold. While others move forward with blissful ignorance, you're frozen by the complexity you can't stop calculating. This is not a deficit of motivation. It's a surplus of cognition. You're not lazy, you're overwhelmed by your own capacity to see what others can't. And then there's the dopamine problem. Intelligent brains often have different dopamine regulation. You might find that ordinary tasks feel physically painful to initiate, not because you're weak, but because your reward system doesn't fire from mundane activities. You need novelty, complexity, challenge. Without those elements, your brain simply refuses to release the chemicals required for motivation. You're not choosing to be unmotivated. Your neurobiology is waiting for stimulation worthy of its architecture. This is why you can be simultaneously the laziest and the most productive person in the room. Give you a boring task and you'll avoid it for weeks. Give you a problem that actually engages your mind, and you'll work for 12 hours without eating. You don't lack work ethic. You lack tolerance for work that doesn't matter. As you grow older, the symptoms become more defined. You might achieve impressive things in short bursts, while appearing to do nothing the rest of the time. Your output is inconsistent, but occasionally extraordinary. This confuses everyone, including you. You might frustrate supervisors and teachers who see your capability, but not your effort. They know you could do more. They don't understand that more isn't the point. Better's the point. Smarter is the point. You might feel like an imposter successful in ways that feel accidental, lazy in ways that feel shameful. The gap between your external achievements and your internal effort creates a constant sense of fraud. You might struggle with traditional environments. School bored you. Jobs drain you. Structured productivity feels like a cage designed for a brain that doesn't work like yours. And you wonder if you'll ever find a container that fits your shape. You might self-sabotage when you get close to success, not because you fear failure, but because you fear the expectations that come with achievement. If they see what you can do with minimal effort, what will they demand when you actually try? This is the shadow side of being a lazy genius. The world isn't designed for you. And you've spent your life either hiding your nature or being punished for it. So where does this leave you? It leaves you at a crossroads. You can keep internalizing the lazy label and fulfilling it as prophecy. Or you can finally understand what you actually are. You are not lazy. You are non-linear. Your productivity doesn't follow predictable patterns. It follows inspiration, curiosity, and the activation of genuine interest. You're not a machine that outputs consistently. You're a system that conserves energy ruthlessly and then explodes with capability when the conditions are right. This is not a flaw to fix. This is an operating system to understand. The work isn't becoming less lazy. The work is designing a life that aligns with how you actually function. Ask yourself, when do I naturally feel energized? What problems make me forget time? What would I do if effort wasn't demanded but invited? Build around those answers. Stop forcing yourself into containers designed for different brains. Stop measuring your productivity by systems that were never meant to measure you. You need fewer goals, not more. Bigger challenges, not busier schedules. Work that engages your mind so completely that the distinction between effort and ease disappears entirely. Carl Jung wrote, "The greatest intelligence is precisely the one that suffers most from its own limitations." Your laziness isn't a limitation, it's a boundary. It's your brain refusing to waste itself on trivialities. It's your system protecting its resources for problems worthy of its power. So if you're someone who's been called lazy your entire life while dreaming bigger than anyone around you, hear this. You are not what they said. You were never what they said. You are a different kind of mind. One that refuses to work hard for working's sake. One that waits, calculates, conserves, and then strikes with precision that looks effortless because for you it finally is. Your ambition is not mocked by your laziness. Your laziness is in service of your ambition. It's protecting your energy for the thing that will actually matter. Stop apologizing. Stop performing busyness to prove your worth. Stop pretending to be the kind of productive that empties you. You don't need to become someone who works harder. You need to become someone who finally works on the right things. And when you find those things, when your brain locks onto a problem worthy of its architecture, the world will finally see what was hiding behind all those years of apparent laziness. Not weakness, not failure, not wasted potential. Just a genius waiting for something worth the effort. Your moment is coming. And when it arrives, you won't be lazy anymore. You'll be undeniable.